Imagine a world where every moment, sight, and whisper around your life is recorded, and it could be replayed on demand, just like a redo. What if your memories were collected like data on our phones today? The data could be used to control, scrutinize, or destroy any move you make in life. This is the reality in Black Mirror's episode The Entire History of You. Our society today is inching closer to this every year. Look at the technology we have with these Meta smart glasses that can take pictures and record and play back immediately. Now, that technology isn't quite where it is in this Black Mirror episode, but it looks like a starting point to me. I'm Gundaker, and today in this video, I'm going to explore Foucault's theory of biopower and how it is represented throughout this episode of Black Mirror. First, I'll go over Foucault's biopower and dive into some of the theory. Then I'll give an episode summary so everyone knows kind of what is going on in this Black Mirror episode. Finally, I'll jump into 3 separate scenes and connect those scenes to biopower. Foucault's theory of biopower is a shift from the traditional and archaic theory of sovereign power, where dictators, rulers, kings decided who lived and who died. It was a very repressive theory that was kind of centered around war, execution, and starvation, and controlled populations in numbers through life and death itself. The shift to biopower is a more modern power and theory that recognizes human biology and humans as a life force that can be nurtured and optimized. This human biology is optimized through the use of regulations applied through society and through government and through technology and technological developments. In biopower, there are 2 poles or 2 different sections that are interconnected and work together, but there are 2 major functions. One is the disciplinary power or individual bodies, and this really focuses on the individual human themselves and putting them in a scenario or giving them a certain technology to allow them to have, or for the government or controlling authority to have control over that individual. Think of like surveillance, whether that's surveillance on our cell phones, surveillance on cameras, or going through an airport and being watched. This can tie into you surveilling something in your own life or the government surveilling on you. For biopolitics, that is the second pole. That is the control and regulation of populations or big sections of a society. These are done through governmental regulations, focusing on things like life itself, processes such as conception, birth control, or health reasons such as vaccinations, euthanasia, or hospice care. This episode of Black Mirror, The Entire History of You, follows a man named Liam, pictured here on the screen to the far left, and his wife Fionn. So Liam is a lawyer who's really struggling at work, and he's also struggling at home as he finds out that everything is unraveling and falling apart around him. So the main thing in this story is that there's a technology in the near future called the willow grain. And the willow grain is a device that gets implanted behind your ear, and it's a chip that allows you to record everything that goes on around you. It's like having a perfect memory, and you can recall that memory called a redo and replay everything that went on at any given moment. It's not just recording the conversations you're having with people right in front of you. If you're in a restaurant and there's a lot of chaos and a lot of noise going on all around and it's very loud, you could actually replay that memory and zoom in on someone all the way across the restaurant and focus on them and listen to what they were saying. So this is a pretty heavy power for a human to have, as it gives them kind of like a godlike complex in regards to information and data collecting and surveillance. So anyway, Liam after finding out that he may not have a job anymore, goes to a dinner party and suspects that his wife has been fooling around on him behind his back. Throughout the entire episode, he uses his willow grain to record conversations and replay memories to try to find plot holes in his spouse's story. And unfortunately for him, through a lot of detective work that drives him mad and jealous, he does find out that his spouse was in fact cheating on him. And not only that, it lined up with the timeline of the conception of his daughter. So ultimately, in the end, he loses his wife and his daughter, not really to the fault of his own, because his wife did cheat. However, his own health and sanity really took a toll due to the ability to play back and overanalyze every little thing that happened in his life. I can relate this to something that maybe didn't affect me or some of you listening, but it is something that happens today with social media. Imagine your partner, you suspect your partner of having an inappropriate relationship with someone, and you go mad and jealous, and you start digging through social media profiles and seeing who's liking that or liking your spouse's photos, who your spouse is following, who's following them. It can really drive you crazy, and it just shows that technology can trigger human emotions a lot of the times in a negative way, and sometimes that could be by design. So the first scene I'll jump into from this episode that relates directly to Biopower is a scene between Liam and Fionn when they're on the couch. And this is when he's really first starting to dig into her story to see if she's telling the truth. And he's basically making her and himself go through redos of memories to play back things to see if little bits and pieces are lining up with the story. And this kind of aligns with the disciplinary power of self-surveillance. Everyone knows that they're being recorded all the time, so it creates some type of mass-like panic within the person when they're trying to recall information that they might not have thought about or recorded themselves. So to remember plots in a story, to make sure you're getting something accurate, really takes a toll on the person's mental health. So this kind of drives the point of optimize the efficiency of humans through technology, being able to recall everything, but at the decline of the own person's mental health or of others around them. The second scene is what I'll refer to as the conception scene, and in my opinion, it's related to biopolitics under Biopower. And I think this scene could be used as an example of how the government could utilize this technology to latch on to push regulations on reproduction and stabilizing the family unit. In this scene, Liam and Fionn are at the edge of the bed, and Liam has finally discovered that his wife did cheat on him. And the timeline kind of aligns to where his daughter might not actually be his. So he forces her to go through the redos or the rewinds in her memory until he can piece it together kind of forcefully to uncover that his family may not actually be his. And then I think this tech could be used by the government, like I said, for regulation to protect the family unit, to weed out any infidelity, and to optimize bloodlines throughout society. The third and final scene I'll discuss is the airport scene at the beginning of the episode, actually. I saved it for last because I believe it's kind of a dual pole or interconnected example of disciplinary power and biopolitics. So in this airport scene, Liam is shown going through TSA and getting checked. When he gets stopped at the counter, his scan is actually replaying memories within the last 24 hours to show that he didn't do anything crazy leading up to getting on the plane. This is an example of societal surveillance, and it's definitely a slippery slope where this could be a major infraction on an individual's privacy, but also at the same time, it could be a huge benefit to society for safety and security purposes. So, in conclusion, biopower is a theory that can regulate and optimize humans. It can make our lives a lot better, but it also can, the technology involved can also do a lot of harm. I believe this episode was a warning to humanity and society to slow our roll and make sure that we take care of our own mental health first before diving into trying to be some optimum figure that can record everything around us. We're only able to deal with so much emotion and so much information, and I think an overload of that can be too powerful and can overtake someone's life. So again, Biopower by FOCO, it's a unique tool that can definitely help us, but we just need to be careful of where we're going.